Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Coast Outdoors, and today in this video, hang on a second, let me fix that. Today in this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing video of some baits that I got from Tackle Supply Depot. Tackle Supply Depot is a place that I buy baits off of on eBay. Here's a sticker from them. I buy all kinds of stuff from there. Like 99% of my stuff comes from there anymore. They have great shipping, great prices overall. They ship them very fast. I bought this stuff on Thursday, I think, and I got them today, which is Monday. So that's pretty darn good, better than most places on eBay. We got 4 things today in this video to go over, and I'll tell you why I bought them and the reasons behind them. So first thing we're going to talk about is the smallest thing out of all of them, and that is this guy right here. So I've never really bought a whole lot of these baits. These are Heddon Tiny Torpedoes. I never bought a whole lot of these because the only one that ever really worked was the black and white, and I only had one, and I could only ever find one. But I got on there and I found this one. I thought it looked really, really neat. It caught my eye, and the color is clear. It's actually a clear topwater bait, and it's actually a lot more clear than other topwater baits that I have. Because you can actually see the screws and stuff that holds the hooks on and everything else, which is really cool. It's really cool, I think. It has the eyes, the yellow and black eyes, and it has right here, it has a black dot on each side, plus the little propellers. I like these baits. These are really good baits. I think this will work pretty good for bluegill, bass, probably even some crappie. I've had big crappie come up and eat these before. One of the biggest crappie I've ever seen alive, dead, in a fish aquarium or out in the wild. I had come up and eat a baby bass-colored topwater torpedo, and sadly, me, like an idiot, throwing 30-pound braid with a spinning rod, decided just to jack this thing and ripped its lip. But I'd say that's probably a 3 or 4 pound crappie. I mean, it was bigger than anything I'd seen in a Bass Pro Shops or anything like that. It was a monster. And it was a black crappie too. I could tell. I mean, the water that I was fishing was so clear. I could tell that it was a black crappie and everything. It was a very clear water place. Sadly, we never went back there. That day, I only caught one fish the whole time. It was a small bass on a little spinnerbait. But that was a big crappie. I missed it on my very first cast. But yeah. Crappie will hit top water. I've seen people catch crappie on soft body, hollow body frogs before on TV. I don't know if anybody else has seen that before, but I've actually seen that, which was really interesting to see because I never really thought of crappie as being a predator to that extent. I know they eat minnows and stuff, but I didn't really think they would chase up a frog to the surface. But that one did, and it was an interesting catch to watch. But anyway, Heddon Tiny Torpedo, one of my old school favorite baits. That was the bait that I used to use. That was the first bait, not in that color. The first bait I used was actually in this color. So I actually bought 2 Heddon baits, 2 topwater baits. Now Heddon Lures has not really been a very famous lure company as far as new innovative stuff. They know what works and they stuck with it, and they've been sticking with it for many years. The Heddon Torpedoes caught a lot of fish. In my personal opinion, I think the Heddon Torpedo was kind of the birth father, I guess you could say, whatever that word means. I don't remember the word now. But the original Whopper Plopper, because if you think that bait's been around for a long, long time. The one I use was bought by my dad back when he was still in his teens. So, I mean, it's an old bait. You know, he's 50 now, and he bought that bait back when he was about my age. So that's a pretty old bait, you know, almost a 30-year-old bait. And I'm still using it. I still have it in my tackle box, one of these boxes, probably that one there. I still use it, and I still catch fish. So that color works, and that's why I bought this Heddon spook in it. This is a silent spook as well. It's completely silent. You guys can see no noise whatsoever. So I actually have one of these, and I'll show it to you real quick. I think it's in this box. I don't really know. So this, if I have it in here, I should, and I don't. Where's that? Oh, there it is. This was the original topwater walking bait that I got. This was the very first one. My dad bought this for me for Christmas. This is a Heddon Zara Spook in the baby bass color. Then he also bought me a, let me put this back. He also bought me the one knocker version. This guy right here, this is the Zara Spook Junior, but it's got the, it works sometimes. That one knocker sounding, it's got just one, I think it's probably not tungsten, but it's like a brass bead. And then I started buying the Strike King Sexy Dogs, and that whole thing exploded. I just started buying a crap load of those because those became my favorite bait. But I thought, why not go back to the basics and get a couple of the old original baits just in new colors. The original bait in this was the black and white, and I thought, why not get the clear? The original bait in this one was the baby bass, and I thought I'd get the black and white. You guys probably don't know, but maybe some of you do. Around here in my area, in a lot of different ponds, and sometimes even in the lakes, a black or black and white topwater bait just excels way better than anything else. I've had days where I couldn't catch anything on anything. I mean, I couldn't catch a fish on anything. Finesse worms, swim baits, jigs, all that stuff. I couldn't catch fish on them. But I tied on a black and white head and torpedo and just started catching fish. Black and white frogs, black and white anything, just catch fish. And so I thought, why not get a big walking bait? Thought, why not? I had the money. Why not? Next, we have this guy right here. So these are actually coming 3 in a pack. And I've been wanting to get these for a while. So you guys all know the green pumpkin purple jig. Well, I found these guys right here. These are replacement skirts, but I'm probably going to use them as a punch skirt at some point. But they're green pumpkin purple jig skirts. And they look very similar to the original color. They look almost exactly alike. The green pumpkin is a little bit darker on this one, but I think that's not going to matter as much. Come 3 in a pack. My main goal for these is probably going to be put on some of my jigs that I have. I have some jigs that the skirt broke on them. I don't know where they are. I think they're in this box here. But I have some jigs that the skirt material that holds on the skirt, the actual thing itself, broke. And where's one at? There's one right there. It's down at the very bottom of the box. There's one right here. This one here is a black and blue football jig, but the skirt broke off. So my plan is to put one of those on this, make it a green pumpkin purple football jig. I also have those flipping jigs. Where are they at here? Oh, that's not one. I have these right here. I don't have one that's not got a bait on it, but these flipping baits, the flipping jig heads that I bought a while back, I'll probably put one of those on it, maybe. And then I got this here, which is a rattling jig, which there's a possibility I might put it on here somehow. This one here is kind of a messed up one. It doesn't work very well. The rattle does, but the jig head for a skirt doesn't really work too well. It's more of a bait for, a soft plastic bait. It's really, all this head is really good for anymore. Probably will put a flat or a mud crawler, or maybe even a flat runner on it or something like that. Maybe put one of these 6-inch ribbed slammer worms on it, possibly. Don't know. Next bait, this is the last bait. This one here I've heard a lot about. Now, this is the Picasso Lures. Now, this was actually, that's nice. Hang on a second here. This is, really? Are you serious right now? Now, stay. So this is, I think, the second bait that I've gotten from Picasso Lures. Now, I have these heads here. Now, I got this one on a 3.5 gunner, but these shaky heads right here are also made by Picasso. But I've heard so much about spinner baits from Picasso that I thought, you know what? Why not? Why not buy one? And I've been looking for a muddy water spinner bait because, as you guys know, the pond is very muddy. The water is definitely not as clear as I wish it was. But I've been looking for a muddy water spinner bait, and when this thing popped up, I was like, you know what, this looks good enough. I've heard a lot about them, figured I could do, a review video on them. Now, the one thing I don't like about this spinner bait already is the wire. The wire is very, very thin. Here's the bait right here. It's got a gold Colorado and a silver Colorado. Now, something I do notice about these is the silver Colorado right here is a little bit bigger than typical, secondary blades. And something else I noticed about this bait is that it has a very, very thin wire, and I just don't like it. It's very flexible. You guys can see there. I'm barely putting any pressure on it at all, and it is bending. I don't like that. I hope that it doesn't break because this thing was like $8. I don't know why I bought it because it was that expensive. I probably should have bought a Strike King just because they're cheaper and they're better quality. I do have to say though, this is probably one of the more stupid things I've bought from there. Now the color is chartreuse and white. Obviously it's got the white and the chartreuse back. The bait I'll probably end up putting on this is probably going to be a 3.5 gunner if I even use a trailer. One of my favorite spinnerbait trailers are a 4/0 trailer hook. So that might be what I put on it. But I don't know, y'all. It does not look very good. I think this is a 1/2 ounce or 3/8. I can't remember. I want to say it was 3/8. But I don't know. I did not think it was going to be this thin of a wire. So hopefully it works. Hopefully the wire holds out for a few fish, at least, maybe 5 or 6 fish. If it doesn't, then I'm definitely going to have some complaints with the company because that, any bait, no matter what kind of bait it is, these soft plastic baits, they will last 5, 6, 7 fish. I've caught, tons of fish on them, and they still hold out. A spinner bait is no different. A jig is no different. A topwater bait is no different. They should be able to last at least, a dozen fish. And if it doesn't, then cheap junk crap that I won't buy again. That's what I say. So thank you guys for watching once again. Check out the my main channel over on Topwater King. I have a video going up there. Don't know if it'll be already up by the time you're watching this, but yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys want to see me doing some videos of me actually fishing, we'll hopefully be able to do that this week because there's going to be some highs close to 60 and 70 degrees. So there's a possibility of getting a fish finally for the first time this year. Bass, that is. But who knows what will come on. If you guys want to see me doing any videos on any of the baits I showed in this video, let me know down in the comments. If you guys have any suggestions for videos you want me to do, let me know as well. So thanks for watching. Bye.